Welcome, welcome. Episode 13 of the Brown Bostonian Show. I'm your host, Kevin Parrington Turner, aka the Brown Bostonian, aka Sir South, aka the one and only, aka the two and only, aka your auntie's favorite, aka the Black Bambino. New England, so clear, we go hard. Boston, we here. It's been a great week of sports, great week of battle rap. Great week. Can't wait to get into it. I'm gonna try to keep this within wraps. Not try to go through it too quick, but also not try to hang on to each topic too long. But nonetheless, we're going to start with the Patriots versus the Colts. The Patriots, New England Patriots, are now above 500, 5-4 on the season, first time in the season that they're above 500. They beat the Colts 26-3. Now look, the Patriots offense, out of 26 total points, scored 7 of those points. I will say that again. The New England Patriots offense scored 7 points Sunday out of 26 total points. Jonathan Jones, pick 6, late in the game. Nick Folk, 4 field goals. And just 1 touchdown from the offense. That's unacceptable. Mac Jones threw for 147 yards, 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown went to Ramondre Stevenson, who also rushed for 60 yards. The trade deadline is done and it's over. And I think the Patriots found their identity. And I think, unfortunately, their identity is just relying on the defense to get them good field position. And relying on that special teams to get them good field position. And relying on the special teams to kick field goals, long field goals. And relying on that defense to make stops, and not only stops, but to get points. Yes, I think the New England Patriots bank on their defense getting them points, getting them as many points as their offense. Do you know how crazy that the defense scored 6 points? The New England Patriots offense scored 6 points, because we're not including the extra point. They scored as much points as their defense. That is embarrassing. Now, do I think Bailey Zappi would have changed any of that? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But nonetheless, something's got to give. Because this is a playoff team that would be lucky to be a playoff team. If that makes any sense. The AFC East, it was a great week. In the AFC East, now the Patriots are a game behind of all teams, with the Bills, with the Jets, and the Dolphins, which, I'll get into that later, but they're a game behind first place, technically. But their offense has not gotten it done. Ramondre Stevenson has been the one to put it together, receiving and rushing. Jacoby Myers, he's proven to be solid. He's solid. But once teams know that, there's no one else for the Patriots to go to, for Mac Jones to go to, and they need to get it done. Need I remind you, they have no offensive coordinator. I'm gonna keep saying that. Going into this week, they have a bye. And I said last week, I said on the blog, brownbostonian.com, these next 2 games are crucial if they want to make the playoffs. They cannot make the playoffs if they don't win these next 2 games. And they won one. They won 1 out of the 2. That was against the Colts. They have a bye week this week, and then they have the Jets once again, who they previously defeated before the Colts. They need to win this one. I don't think that's a surprise. Seeing that the Jets just beat the Bills, now if they can go 2-0 on the Jets, possibly knock the Jets down to last in the division, the Bills, depending on Josh Allen's injury, which he suffered against the Jets last week with the elbow injury. We got to see what happens there. We got to see what happens with Tua. He's looking great. Jalen Waddle is looking great. Tyreek Hill's looking great. But, injuries always are a thing. And the Miami Dolphins have been in the middle of the pack with ups and down roller coasters each week. We don't know what's happening. Their offense is lethal. But nonetheless, the Patriots are in the mix. But it's their offense that has just been the killer. If they can get the offense there, I think they're a top 5 team in the AFC. But they haven't been able to get it done. And that's going to be the problem. I think going into this bye week, they got to figure out how to get their offense going. They got to figure out where it's coming from. Hunter Henry, maybe. He's been quiet this entire season. Nelson Aguilar's been quiet this entire season. Devontae Parker has been non-existent. I don't even know if he's a Patriot. There's this young kid, Thornton. He's good. They said he's fast. He's been good. I got to see his catching ability. They're throwing him on jet sweeps. They're throwing him on, small routes, close routes. So hopefully they can probably see what gets going in this bye week. This bye week is going to be crucial. And possibly, as I've been saying it from the beginning of the season, maybe Josh McDaniels, I don't wish anyone to get fired, but the way the Raiders are looking, maybe Josh McDaniels comes back to New England by the end of the regular season. And then we can get something figured out. But it's halfway through the season. It's not December yet, which I think December is when the Patriots figure it out, even though they got a tough schedule ahead of them. But this next game with the Jets after this bye week is going to be very crucial. And this bye week is probably the most important week of the season. They need to figure it out. Figure out that offense. The defense is going to be well rested, which is important because they have an elite defense. An elite defense. So the offense needs to figure it out. Nonetheless, week 9. Recap. I'm going to do a quick hits of the week 9. Wasn't too many things that happened. Anything crazy that happened. The Eagles, they're back to being the best NFL team of the season after the bye week. Jalen Hurts, he's on my fantasy team. He's back to being himself. He's doing good. There might be a few hiccups here and there, but they got it done. Nonetheless, and they're back to being the best team in the NFL. Packers season is over. You can't lose to the Detroit Lions if you're the Packers. If you're the Packers, you can't lose to the Detroit Lions. I feel for Aaron Rodgers. I do. With a young core, but that's what happens when you're the back-to-back MVP. Devontae Adams leaves. You want to get all the money. You don't have enough money to go around for the receiving core, and you can't score. That doesn't take anything away from the bad man that Aaron Rodgers is. He's a bad man. He is a bad man. Nonetheless, I think the season's over. It's not even I think. It is. The season is over. Develop the young guys and see what you can do next year. Bills are in trouble. They lost to the Jets this past week, which no one expected, but most of that is due to Josh Allen suffering an elbow injury, which I don't think is anything serious, but it clearly affected his play. And with this AFC East division, it's so tough. The Bills technically still sit at first place, a game ahead, because they had a bye week. So they're 6-2, while the Dolphins and Jets are 6-3, and the Patriots are 5-4. But they're in trouble. They might be in trouble. They might not be. I think they're gonna figure it out. Of course, Josh Allen. He could also just run it. He's just a problem. They're gonna figure it out. But I think this week was interesting to see from the Bills. Next, the Raiders season is over. They're not making the playoffs. And I was wrong about them. I was wrong about the Broncos from the start of the season. I thought that was going to be the toughest division to win. The AFC West. Now it's the AFC East. That turns out to be the toughest division in the league, in my opinion. The Raiders, Josh McDaniels season, sorry, man, it's not looking good. Hopefully you come to New England. But the Raiders season is not looking good. Next, we got the Seahawks. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Nobody wants to play that Seahawks team in the playoffs. Nobody wants to see that team come January. The Seahawks, Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Pete Carroll and his defense is always going to be good every year. So it's just the offense that always needs to figure it out. If they can get any home games, they're not losing. They're not losing a home game. They're not. The Seahawks are super dangerous. I'll say it again. I said it last week, say it again. Tom Brady. I got the chance to watch this game while it was happening. Saw the frustration on Tom Brady throughout the entire game. Only scoring 16 points, only scoring 9 points up until the fourth quarter, up until under a minute left in the game. That's got to be frustrating. No touchdowns from Tom Brady. It's ridiculous. But nonetheless, under a minute to go, they started the ball on their own 40. And Tom Brady drove down the field. He drove down the field and showed y'all why he's the GOAT. Why I said they're gonna figure it out. Not saying, I mean, they're my pick to come out of the NFC East, and I gotta stick with that. I'm not gonna bail on it. But like I said, they're gonna figure it out. As I said, this game was so important for the Bucs and the Rams because both teams have been just up and down, inconsistent, dealing with injuries, dealing with changes in personnel, everything. That this game was very important, and it looked like the Rams was gonna walk away with it on the road, but then Tom Brady got the ball back and did what he's supposed to do. They won 16-13, excuse me. Week 10 predictions. I'm getting to these Week 10 predictions. The Patriots have a bye week, so they will not be playing this week. Falcons at the Panthers. I got the Falcons. I like the Panthers. I like the Panthers fight, despite changing quarterbacks, despite losing Robbie Anderson, trading him off, despite trading off Christian McCaffrey, besides having a new interim head coach. I like the Panthers fight. They've been fighting. The less they have, it's turned into a rebuilding season, but they have been fighting. But I think the Falcons have such they don't have a ceiling for how good they can be. They might not be near the top of that ceiling, wherever it might be, but that ceiling is high. Young guys, talented group. Next, I got the Falcons. Next, I got the Seahawks versus the Buccaneers. That's going to be a great game. I think this game is going to really see whether the Buccaneers turned it around in that win. It's at home. So the Seahawks are on the road. They're dangerous at home, but this game is on the road. I think if the Buccaneers are able to force Geno Smith into tight situations, even though he could just throw the ball up to Tyler Lockett, who's just a speed guy, or DK Metcalf, who's just strong and great route runner. I want to go with the Bucs. I'm going to go with my NFC pick with the Bucs. I hope I'm not wrong with that one. I'm going to go with the Bucs. Lions at Bears. Bears offense has been great. Their offense has been great. I don't care if they lost games. They beat the Patriots. They put on an offensive clinic. They lost to the Cowboys, but they put on an offensive clinic. I like the Bears. I think they're also on the Falcons train of they have great potential. They're not reaching it yet, but 1 week you can see it. 1 week you may not, but they're special. I got the Bears beating the Lions. Bears at home too. Next, I got the Browns versus the Dolphins. The Browns are a week closer to getting Deshaun Watson. They're still fighting for some wins. It's going to be tough, but the Dolphins, easily. I have that being a blowout game. Broncos at Titans. Now, the Titans have been a low-key scary team. I know it's, they've been good for a few years now since head coach Mike Vrabel's been there, and the running game is impeccable. But I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Broncos. This is their last chance. This is the last chance for Russell Wilson to make something happen, to earn that amount of money that he's getting to lose all these games for his team. I'm going to go with the Broncos. Next, Vikings at Bills. That's going to be such an amazing game. I hope Josh Allen is fully healthy for this one, because Josh Allen is better than Kirk Cousins. But it's going to be great to see Justin Jefferson versus Stephon Diggs. That's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. I'm excited. I want to see that. I want to see the Vikings versus the Bills. I got the Bills. I think they bounce back from a Jets loss. Josh Allen, he might not throw for that much, but he's going to make it do. He's going to make it happen. He's going to get it done, whether it's on the ground rushing, whether it's passing, short passes, medium passes, or just throwing the long ball to Stephon Diggs. He's going to get it done. They're going to find a way. I think it's too much for Kirk Cousins to handle if he gets put in the ball in a tough situation, which I think is going to happen. I think Kirk Cousins is going to get the ball in a tough situation. He's going to be forced to make a play through the air, and it's just not going to happen. Next, Texans at Giants. I like the Giants. I love the Giants this year. I got the Bills jersey. I got the Bills sweatshirt on. Got it from Sabres. Shout out to Sabres. I got the Giants. Giants beating the Texans. Saquon Barkley's been very good. Very, very, very good. And they're just putting it together. And I think teams like this is like the games you're supposed to win, and it's at home for the Giants. The games you're supposed to win, when you win them, that's what shows the greatness. So I got the Giants beating the Texans. Next, Jaguars at Chiefs. Jaguars have been up and down. It's the Falcons. It's the Jags, and it's the Bears. The teams that have high ceilings, that have 1 week they can be very, very good, get a upset win, and the next week they can lose. I got the Chiefs though. Patty Mahomes, my pick to come out the AFC East. Coming out the AFC, my pick to be MVP. I got the Chiefs. Saints at Steelers. I got the Saints. Colts at Raiders. I got the Colts. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, but I got the Colts. I think I'm gonna make a prediction. If the Raiders lose this one, they fire Josh McDaniels. Cardinals at Rams. Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins is back, balling. Cowboys at Packers. That's going to be a great game. Even though the Packers are struggling, I said the season is over, which I still think it is. I think Aaron Rodgers, when he gets games like these, he gets excited, he plays well. But I still got the Cowboys. That defense is too good. Michael Parsons is too good. Dak Prescott's back. Chargers at 49ers. 49ers. I know people love the Chargers. 49ers. Commanders at Eagles. Eagles, best team in the NFL right now. Got the Eagles. That's it for football. Gonna get into these Celtics. Last night, the Celtics beat the Detroit Pistons 128-112. Jason Tatum scored 31 points. Jaylen Brown scored 30. But it was Sam Hauser off the bench who had a career night of 24 points. Sam Hauser, who to me has shown that he can be reliable. He's a forward from Virginia. He can shoot the ball, quick release, tall, can defend, and can finish around the rim. I like Sam Hauser. I like him. Celtics now 8-3. You know, they're in a weird spot because Zach Lowe recently, on his podcast on ESPN, he pointed out that the Boston Celtics have the number one offense, but 21st in defense, if I'm not mistaken. The Celtics offense hasn't scored below 109 points this season yet. And obviously the defense is, Robert Williams, absence, his knee injury, he's recovering from it. That's been a huge part of the problem. And there was a game where Al Horford didn't play. So when you got Al Horford and Robert Williams out, you got to put Blake Griffin in, you got to put Grant Williams in, these, shorter guys, 6'9" guys. And it's been tough to defend guys in the paint. So the Celtics have been scoring. Jason Tatum has been averaging 31 points a night, 6th in the NBA. Brown has been averaging 25 points a night. That's what's been making the Celtics win games, is their offense and their shooting. The shooting with Sam Hauser, with Grant Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, who they've all been chipping in very well. Derek White as well. They've all been having very good people that can chip in. Marcus Smart has still, he averaged, he dropped 11 assists. Only 2 points last night, but 11 assists against the Pistons. They're all doing their thing. They've all gotten better. They've all gotten better as a team offensively. Jason Tatum, he's gotten stronger. He's finishing through contact. He's in and out the game. Against the Grizzlies a few nights ago, against John Morant, he put 2 free throws in to ice the game. So, and that's something we haven't really seen too much from in the beginning of his career. He hasn't, it's always tough to finish the games, but he's become a finisher, which has allowed the Celtics to win games despite a lack of inside the paint defense. Because now, with no center, and aging Al Horford, who's going to put in 20, 25 points, 25 minutes a night, it leaves Jason Tatum to guard the block sometimes. It leaves everyone to do their part on the block, which means you're going to have these shorter guys on the perimeter. Now, what made the Celtics so good last year defensively is that you had a 6'7" guy in Jason Tatum, you had a 6'5" guy, or 6'6" guy in Jaylen Brown, and you have the Defensive Player of the Year and Marcus Smart all on the perimeter. That's wingspan. That's a combination of just foot quickness, strength, IQ, all on the perimeter, and then you have a shot blocker like Robert Williams and Al Horford, who just takes up a lot of spacing, and then you can put Grant Williams on the perimeter, who can match up with the big guys who can also dribble in, also in the paint, and get rebounds and box out. That's what made them so dynamic defensively. And now, the reason why they're letting up a lot of points is because sometimes Jason Tatum got to go in the paint and defend. Grant Williams got to go in the paint and defend, which leaves guys like Derek White out on the perimeter, Malcolm Brogdon, who's good, but they're not up to the same stature as some of the other backcourt starters on the Celtics. Nonetheless, Blake Griffin has been in and out of the lineup, not playing some games, playing some games. That's what Gallinari was supposed to be there for. So hopefully, Griffin can stay healthy. It's been tough for him for a very long time to stay healthy. And it looks like that hasn't changed so far. But nonetheless, the Celtics look good. They play the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night. That's going to be a true test with Murray back and the back-to-back MVP and Joker. That's going to be a good game. So Friday night, can't beat that. That is it for basketball. I'm going to get into this battle rap. Sunday, homecoming, URLTV.tv had their event back in New York, Irving Plaza. For people who don't know battle rap, or people who are not in tune for battle rap fans, URL, that started in New York, has been away from New York for a long time. The reasons we're not going to get into, but part of it is the crowd. New Yorkers, they love you, they hate you, and they hate you, they're going to let you know, which can mess up the money sometimes. So, with that being said, they're back in New York. It was a big deal. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. Because I'm going to say, only 4 battles happened. K-Shine and Jack Boy Maine didn't go down. Apparently, Jack Boy Maine had a health issue. Hope we're good. Hope he's good for sure. Hopefully, he can go down. I heard it was K-Shine's possibly last URL battle. We'll see. But there was only 4 battles, but nonetheless, those 4 battles were entertaining. Kid Slade versus Stumbles. New England. People don't understand how big this is for New England. Kid Slade versus Stumbles on the big stage in Irving Plaza. I don't think you understand how you guys understand how proud I am of both of them. These are 2 guys that have been in battle rap for a good amount of time. Always fire. But they took it to a whole new level in the past 2 years maybe. Shout out to Stumbles. We go hard. Shout out to Kid Slade, Gates of the Garden, I Battle from Connecticut. Stumbles from Springfield, very close to each other. For people that don't know, for New Englanders that don't know, Springfield's right next to Connecticut. But Kid Slade won. Showed different elements on that stage. Performance of the night, probably. Showed that there was levels. Stumbles did good in the first round, slipped off in the second and third. He wasn't bad, he wasn't trash. But Kid Slade kept people entertained throughout 3 rounds. I'm happy for both of them. I don't think this hurts either one of their stocks. This only brings it up, only brings their price up as they deserve it. And I'm proud of them. Kid Slade, clear 2-1, maybe 3-0. Next, we got Swamp versus Ars. I'm gonna start by saying I'm not a big fan of either one of these guys that much. Ours is a Hall of Famer, Mr. Disrespectful. Swamp, North Carolina. I believe. Hope is not South Carolina, North Carolina, from the Carolinas. Coming off a huge Tay-Rock performance, battling another Hall of Famer in ours. I gotta give it to it, and here's what it is: the New York crowd. Ars is from Jersey, but it's down the street. They loved Ars from the jump. Ars got the first. He was rapping too. Second and third is interchangeable. I'm gonna go with Ars. I'm gonna go with Ars. No, I'm sorry. I gotta go with Song. See, and that I can't call it. Initially, I Swamp. I gotta see it again. Next, third battle of the night: Jazz the Rapper versus Vixen the Assassin. Vixen the Assassin from Wisconsin. Jazz the Rapper from Brooklyn, New York. Jazz the Rapper, a Hall of Famer. Perhaps the best female battler in the world ever. She was in Irving Plaza, had the crowd in her hands from the jump. Vixen the Assassin came out swinging. She might have won the first. Matter of fact, I'm going to give her the first. But then Jazz the Rapper swung that crowd back to her hands. Didn't let go of that crowd. Jazz the Rapper won that 2-1 clearly. Last battle of the event: Murder Mook versus Geechee Gotti. Murder Mook from Harlem versus Geechee Gotti. Now listen. This is why it's important to understand greatness, right? Murder Mook, when he battled, when he got up there, it was more than another battle. Somewhat of the same of a Sue Surf thing, but to a different extent, because this was in New York. This was a thing. Fabulous was in the building. Busta Rhymes was in the building. Mano was in the building. Remy Ma was in the building. Papoose was in the building. This was the new, you know, like an artist. When Drake drops an album, he just dropped a great album with him and 21 Savage. The world stops. When Beyonce drops an album, the world stops. There's certain people, when they drop, or when they step on the court, like when Braun steps on the court, the world stops. We watch it. We hear it. When Murder Mook got up on that stage in New York hip-hop stopped. I'm not going to say the entire hip-hop community. New York hip-hop stopped. Millions of people was watching the live stream. You can see the number. Over 1 million people. And Murder Mook didn't disappoint. Now, listen. One thing I like about Geechee, he didn't fold. He did not fold. Which is hard to do. He was solid all 3 rounds. He had all the New York stuff, you know what I mean? I get it. I get it. He was saying it was part, you know what I mean? I get it. And the question for Murder Mook was always, can he adapt to this era? And he did. He was wilding. I ain't gonna lie. Murder Mook was wilding from the jump. He had a crowd in his hands from the jump. He knew how to pander to the crowd. You know, you say, you from the same city that killed Biggie. So, shout out to Murder Mook. I got Murder Mook winning clearly 2-1. You know, my friend, my mans, he was like, it's 3-0. But I think Geechee got the second. It's hard. As from a battler, when someone's wilding on you, it's easy to rap different when it's your turn again. You screaming, trying to make sure it hits. You rushing a little bit, trying to get to the next punch. Geechee didn't do none of that. He stayed true to him throughout the entire battle. Same confidence, same vocal projection, same aggression. To some people, it might have been his detriment, but to me, I viewed it as he stayed confident. And because of that, this isn't a real loss to him. He got the respect from everybody in the battle rap world. He battled Lux and he battled Mook. Like, come on. Next, I need to see Surf for some Mook, man. Shout out to Mook. He was wildin'. He deserves his praise. Murder Mook's like the Michael Jordan of battle rap, for those who don't know. It's like the Tom Brady. He's like the Floyd Mayweather of battle rap. He's the Floyd Mayweather of battle rap. Because when Floyd fights, all the celebrities come to see him fight. Because it might be his last. You never know. That's how great he is. He's had a few subpar performances, but they was against like Reed Dollars, Iron Solomon, guys of his class, guys of his age, from his era. So it didn't feel the same. But the battle of a guy like Geechee Gotti from this era, who some people deem as the best in the world, it hits different. Shout out to Murder Mook. Nonetheless, that's going to be it for this week's episode. A lot. It was action-packed. I think we hit 30 minutes. And it was all action-packed, full of different topics. Nonetheless, I'll see you guys next week. It's the Brown Bostonian, a.k.a. Sir South, a.k.a. the one and only, a.k.a. two and only, New England's finest, Boston's finest. We back. Peace.